Why don't we get started? We're going to do our meditation. And your choice today, we can sit, just going to move back a bit in a seated position, or you can lay down on your mat. So your choice today. And we'll just take a moment to arrive here on our yoga mat. Nice tall seat. You can allow the palms to face up if you want to bring in more energy today, or palms down where you'll feel more grounded. And then just taking a moment to settle here. Notice your natural breath, beginning with the breathing through the nose, in through the nose and out through the nose. And just staying here, noticing how your own breath flows without extending the inhale or lengthening the exhale. On this snowy day here in the Shuswap. If your eyes aren't closed already, close your eyes. And if you're seated, you're going to root down through the sit bones and lengthen the spine. So nice tall spine here. And feel the crown of the head reaching for the sky, the cloudy, snowy sky. Allow your forehead to relax. So if you're holding tension in the forehead, releasing the tension. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, and relax the jaw. Now begin to lengthen the inhales and the exhales just slightly. Sometimes we put too much pressure into the breath so it can sound really loud, but we want to be gentle here. Nice, gentle winter yin blend today. So in through the nose and out through the nose. As we settle in for our heart meditation. And today's date is February 6th. So we'll read that meditation from Journey to the Heart. So as I start reading this, just see if you can listen to the words and notice if you can bring in an intention for your practice. In today's meditation is look at what's right. Take time to notice what's right in ourselves, in others, and in the world around us. We may become so concerned with correcting ourselves, we become habituated to seeing what's wrong. Not just seeing it, but constantly looking for it. The question itself, what's wrong, is enough to keep us on edge. But there are times to take stock, do inventory, times to learn and grow. But spirituality and joy do not stem from trudging around in the muck of what's wrong with others, ourselves, and life. We do not seek out mistakes and errors, picking at ourselves to continue our growth. Poking and picking hurts. Our lessons will be revealed to us, and they will present themselves naturally. Growth will occur. Give yourself a break. Ask yourself what's right, what's good, what's true, what's beautiful. Sometimes the lesson isn't in discovering what's wrong. Sometimes the lesson is discovering that the world is all right. And so are you. So we're sitting here in our meditation or laying down, giving ourselves this beautiful break of yoga. We come to the word heart as we come to this very last class of our winter yin blend, where we've been focusing on our breath, our body, and our hearts. And we begin with the letter H. Honor who you are already. Just noticing who you are in this moment. As we take this time to quiet the body, quiet the mind, and quiet around us. So outside quiet and inside quiet, where we can tap into some peace. We honor ourselves in this practice today. And the letter E is embrace. Embrace your breath. Embrace your body. And embrace your heart. We know that our breath calms our nervous system, especially when we breathe with intention. When we breathe with intention, our body, our mind, our heart connects as one. We embrace this practice together, and we'll take time to notice what feels good. We'll make a mental note of when we feel peace and when I can feel ease. And this ease can be found in stillness. We come to the letter A, where we're bringing our awareness. Again, awareness to finding that peace and ease in our practice today. And also awareness to breath. We can focus now on breathing in through the nose, down the throat, into the heart. And we're exhaling through the heart. Inhaling through the nose, the cool breath coming in through the nose, down the throat, landing in the heart. And as we exhale, you can even breathe out through the mouth if you find it hard to visualize breathing out through the heart. In through the nose, down the throat, to the heart, and back out through the mouth. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Soften the shoulders. Remain in that tall spine if you're seated. Now we come to the letter R in the word heart. And this represents reflection. Again, we reflect on how our life here is a gift and how being in this practice is a gift to our mental health. We can listen and reflect on what our heart is telling us. And knowing that throughout any practice, whether it's meditation or the yoga asana practice, thoughts will come and go. And sometimes some of those feelings will arise when we move the body in different ways. And notice if emotions arise. Just be curious, just be aware of this and reflect on what's coming up. And knowing that however a memory goes in, it typically comes out the same way. So if you feel anger towards something or someone, maybe a thought of that person comes up and you feel anger coming up. Or you feel joyful. You feel a happiness bubbling from the belly and coming up towards the heart. Maybe that's a memory or a feeling or being happy for someone who just got a new puppy. Being happy and seeing the joy on their face as they snuggle in this new little bundle of a fur baby into their lives. Just being aware and reflecting on feelings and emotions. Remembering that you and your life is a gift. And finally, we come to the word trust from the letter T. And I cannot say this enough about how much you can trust in this practice of yoga, how you can be in the seat of your practice, whether you're on your mat physically or not. You can come back to this practice as sometimes the world feels chaotic around you. Or if you're highly sensitive in HSP, maybe it feels like that 95% of the time. Seeing if you come back to this practice, this feeling of peace and ease. We're going to stay here for our 2 minutes in quiet, in stillness. Staying with your breath. Our meditation today said, give yourself a break. Ask yourself what's right, what's good, what's true, and what's beautiful. Sometimes the lesson isn't in discovering what's wrong. Sometimes the lesson is discovering the world is all right, and so are you. And your left hand up to your heart, right hand cups over top of left into the self-care mudra. And take this moment to bring in your intention. Notice how it feels to truly rest within the heart. What is feeling right for you in this moment? Once you feel that you have brought in this intention and sealed it into the heart for today's practice, bring your hands into Anjali Mudra and drop your chin gently towards your heart. As we make our way into our asana practice, we will practice little breaks in between our yin shapes today. We'll stay connected to our breath, move our body, and listen to the heart. So gently opening the eyes, I'm going to make my way over to my mat. So I will lay this way since Izzy is laying on the end of my mat. I'm going to come down to constructive rest pose. And you'll see I have some bolsters, blocks. I have my squishy ball in case I need it today. And I got a blanket, which I'm going to place behind my head. And I also have my chair and pillow there for the practice. So as I come into constructive rest pose, take the hands to the belly. Take a moment to settle in here and notice that I'm not leaning my knees on each other or splaying my knees wide. I'm lining up my knees with my hip flexors and my feet are about the same width apart. I'm bringing the thumb to the lower rib, pinky finger down to the top of the hip flexor. My elbows are wide, resting on the floor. And I just tap back into that breath awareness, feeling the belly rise, the ribs expand, the heart sinks down towards the earth. And as I exhale, we feel the heart rising, the ribs soften, and the belly button comes back to kiss the spine. And notice here, when you come to the heart, was I correct in how I said that the heart sinks down to the earth, or is it opposite? Noticing as you inhale, the heart floats up. And as you exhale, you feel the heart sink down into the back of the body. Good. Let's draw the knees in. Hands are on knees, drawing the knees a bit wider than the body. And begin to open the toes wide and then scrunch the toes. Open wide and scrunch the toes. So I've brought in a lot of our practice today to honor our feet. And a lot of times we really don't honor our feet that get us around. And today we're honoring our feet to activate the feet, increase our circulation, especially as we age. Keeping those toes flexible are important for our balance. Good. Drop the left knee down or left foot down and hug that right knee in. You could extend the left leg out, drawing the toes back towards you. So baby dragon pose in yin. I'm going to take 5 breaths here. And wind releasing pose in hatha yoga. And you may notice I don't use a lot of Sanskrit words. I have a hard time remembering them. And I feel just explaining how to come in and out of each posture, knowing the English or yin name for it is okay. And I give myself a break. I don't need to know Sanskrit. Good. From here, you're going to draw the left heel towards you. Knee is bent. You're going to lift that foot up towards the sky and begin to point the toe and then flex the heel. Good. I just noticed my meditation pillow still in the picture, so I'm just going to slide that out of the way. Good. From here, begin to make some ankle circles. Maybe you're feeling this all the way into the calf muscle. If you have knee pain like I do, I can feel it into the joint in my knee. Good. And again, flex and point. We're going to drop this right knee down, clasp behind the left thigh or calf muscle. I find behind the thigh is best, and I'm just going to rock my leg backwards and forwards. And you'll see I'm not rocking it very much. I'm just very tiny, so like maybe a couple inches backwards and forwards. So we're stabilizing the hip joint here. And then make little circles, maybe the size of a tennis ball on the ceiling, the sky, one way, and then the other way. So this brings in our therapeutic yoga. Seems like Izzy is going to go into Shavasana early. Good. Come to stillness here. Draw the leg back towards you. See if you can get a nicer, deeper stretch into that back hamstring. I'm going to stay here for 5 more breaths. Keep the breath calm and relax. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Good. One more breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Exhale, lower that foot down, tap it on the ground, and inhale it all the way back up. Exhale, lower, tap the foot, and inhale up. I'm still keeping that foot very active. Last one, tap the heel down and inhale up. Good. Take that leg, bend the knee, drop that foot down to the earth. Good. Take a moment here to press into baby bridge just to reset the sacrum on the earth. And we're going to extend the left leg, draw the toes back towards you. Draw that right knee in, hug it in. Again, activating the feet here, so more of a hatha posture than yin at this moment. A nice compression into the belly, bringing in some fresh blood flow into the organs. And I think I've got the wrong leg. Sorry. Extend the right leg now. Draw the left knee in towards the belly. I'm going to move over so I don't kick Izzy. So again, I had the wrong leg. So you're drawing the left knee in, activate the feet, and right foot is extended. You can draw the knee wide or make a few circles here. I'm making a few circles because I got a bit of a cramp in my hip. My left hip is always a little bit cranky. It seems to be my knee and my hip. So everything on the left side. And now we're going to draw that right foot up towards the sky. I'm still drawing this left knee in, and I'm going to point the toes and flex the heel. Maybe you hear some crackle and pops in the joint, and that's okay. And remembering today we're going to honor ourselves by working at a 60% effort level, not 110. And now begin to make those ankle circles one way and the other way, and point the toes and flex again. Good. Drop that left foot down and clasping behind the thigh. We're going to again rock backwards and forwards into the hip stabilization. Really root down to that left foot. Just a couple of inches backwards and forwards. And then we're going to draw the circles on the ceiling again, very tiny, very small movement, about the size of a tennis ball one way and now the other way. Good. We're going to bring the hands down on either side of the hip, extending the heel away. We're going to exhale, lower that heel down. Inhale, press up. You're going to root down to that left foot. Exhale, lower. Draw the abdominal muscles in. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Good. Bend that knee. Drop the feet down to the earth. Press into that bridge pose. Exhale, lower down. So this is where I would use my Pilates ball. You can get these on Amazon, and I believe even Walmart carries them. And I have it so there's not a lot of air in it. And I'm going to place it underneath the sacrum. So this is so much more comfortable than a block, but if you have a block close by, place that block underneath the sacrum. Bring the hands to the belly. Root down through the feet. See if you can widen the toes. Press down through the big toe mound. And just begin to do some pelvic rocks here. So drawing the pelvis up towards the sky and then rocking it backwards. So feeling like you're massaging the tailbone. This is why the ball is so nice. It really does massage the tailbone. If you're on the block, just being very subtle with how you tilt the pelvis forward and upwards. Good, a few more here. And from here, placing the hands down on either side of you. So whether you're on the block or the Pilates ball, drawing the knees in towards you and lift those feet up towards the sky in waterfall. So if you're on the ball, you're going to find it takes the tummy muscles, the abdominals, a little bit of extra work to engage to keep those feet towards the sky. And eventually you can move to lifting the arms up as well, using abdominal strength to keep the legs towards the sky. And you'll feel the body shakes from side to side, and then you can engage those abdominals coming to stillness. Let's bring the arms back down. Take a few more breaths here in waterfall. Really stretch those heels towards the sky. Engage the inner thighs. Press the knees together. Engage the abdominals, so drawing the abdominals towards the spine. But at the same time, relax the shoulders and the neck. Good. Release those feet down to the earth. You're going to press those hips nice and high. Remove the block or the bolster and just take a moment to settle here. Good. Let's roll to our right side, or you can rock and roll up if you wish to massage the spine. Come all the way up to seated. You're going to take your blanket, or maybe you have a foam block, coming into our cobbler pose. So the soles of the feet come together. We're going to come into more of a yin pose here, so more of a diamond shape. And we want to come forward and just take time to give those feet a little massage. So right down into the arch of the feet, into the heel, maybe into the Achilles tendon. Just giving those feet a little bit of love this morning. You can squeeze the toes and open the toes. Good. And from here, just sit nice and tall. And just take a moment to breathe in our butterfly pose. So we're coming into our first yin posture. We're going to take a moment to hinge from the hip. So hinging forward, bringing the hands down to where they rest, and let the chin come towards the heart. Again, using any props you feel necessary to support you. So sometimes it does feel good to place the blocks underneath to support the legs as you come forward. But remembering that this forward fold is not about the back. It's about getting into the hips and the inner thighs. Your chin just comes towards heart here. We're going to be here for 2 more minutes. So knowing that at any time, if this is not comfortable for you, you can come a little bit up, take a moment to reset, and then lower yourself back down to the earth. And I know some of you are flexible and your head can come right into your feet. And some of us may not even come that far forward, but knowing that this is perfect no matter where you are. We're honoring who we are today, honoring our bodies, meeting our bodies where they are. Coming into quiet and stillness. Got about 30 more seconds here in our seated butterfly pose. Taking a moment to slowly come up. Nice tall seat. And from here, let's bring the legs out in front of us into Dandasana, where again would be our caterpillar pose. Again, I'm sitting on a blanket that helps me just tilt the pelvis a little bit more forward. Sometimes you can use those foam blocks we have in the yoga studio. You can even sit on your block if you wish. I find it's a bit high. Again, we're going to draw those toes towards us, walk the feet forward, and we're keeping our heart high here. We're not rounding the back. So coming forward, letting the chin come towards heart. And either the hands can rest on top of shins, You can clasp onto the big toes. And take a moment to really notice how you feel in this pose. Because we'll come back to it at the end of our practice to see if we can come any deeper. Good. So we have about 30 more seconds here. Thinking a little bit more forward as you soften in the exhale. Good. Slowly rising back up. If you can come into cross-legged pose, please come into that. If not, you can leave your legs extended. We're going to come into some seated cat-cows. So my hands are coming down on top of my knees, and I'm going to round the back here as I exhale. And as I inhale, I'm going to open the heart towards the sky. Chin can come up. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, rising. So knowing you can be as subtle or as deep as you want in this pose. And we're just really wanting to connect to the breath here. And I notice even for myself, as I come to this rounding, I draw that belly button in, engaging the abdominals. And then as I exhale, I release. Good, a couple more here. Inhaling as you arch the spine. And exhale as you round the spine. Good, come up to seated. Take a moment to settle in here. Nice tall spine. And we'll make our way over to hands and knees. You can pad the knees here if you wish, which I'm going to do. I like to have lots of comfort when I'm doing my yoga. So coming into our hands and knees, we're now coming to that nice stretch of the foot, extending that right foot out. The toes are tucked, and we're going to rock back and forth. So like a seesaw kind of motion. And as you draw the foot down, heel reaches away, you're going to feel that into the hamstring. And as you come forward, it releases. And I want you to really focus on engaging the belly button to the spine. Good. And now you're going to draw that foot over to the opposite side. And then we're going to look towards that foot. So you're going to feel a nice stretch through that whole right side of the body. Good. 2 more breaths here. And bring that foot back. Lift that foot up towards the sky, engaging the abdominals. And now lift the left palm up. So palm faces towards you, like the center line. So meaning it's not facing away, it's facing inwards. Good. 1 more breath here. Really engage those abdominals. And exhale, lower the knees down. Knees come wide. Coming into child's pose. Make this a nice restful pose for 2 minutes. In our yin child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. Let's just rock here for a moment. Feel the hips, the forehead on the mat. And now come to stillness. And really sink those sit bones down towards the heels. So at any time, if this is too much on your knees or your hips, you're going to draw the knees inwards and keep the hips high and then lower the forehead down. So it's more like a melting heart pose, but it's not as hard on the knees and the hips. You can also place a block under the forehead if you need to bring the floor up to you. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Let's go 15 more seconds here in our child's pose. And take a moment here to press into the palms, widen the fingers. Looking forward, come all the way back up to hands and knees pose. Good. This time we're going to extend that left foot out and rocking back and forth again, getting into that beautiful hamstring stretch. Maybe you want to stay there. Again, remembering to engage the belly. I don't have my arms stacked here because I'm really pressing in to stretch that calf muscle and the bottom of the foot. You can do little pulses. Good. From here, you're going to lift the foot up, draw it over to the left side of the mat, and then looking over to the right. Again, you're going to feel a nice stretch all through the left side of the body this time. Good. 2 more breaths here. Let's take a moment to stack the joints here. So wrists, elbows, and shoulders. And come back to bringing the foot directly behind you. Take a moment to lift that foot up. So see if that's okay there. And then you're going to lift the opposite palm up, palm faces inwards, and widen those fingers, draw the belly button in. So really feel nice, strong engagement of the abdominal muscles. 2 more breaths. Bring that right hand down, left knee comes down, and tuck both feet here. We're going to do some spinal flossing here. So similar to cat cows, as you exhale, you're going to bring the sit bones back, stretching into the feet, and come forward and arch. Inhaling. Exhale. Rounding. Come backwards. So sit bones come back towards the feet, chin towards heart. And inhale, arching. Good. Exhale, rounding, drawing the hips back. Inhale, arching. And last one, exhale, rounding the back, hip bones, sit bones come back. Good, nice work. Come back to all fours. You're going to draw the right foot forward. Bring your blocks with you for support. We're coming into that low lunge. Lengthen that left foot behind you. So This left hip needs to draw a little bit forward. So maybe you need to draw the knee a little bit away from you. And on this right foot, I can see my toes. So it's a nice degree of angle. So I'm not bringing the foot backwards so the knee's going over the toes. I am having it so I can still see my toes. Using the blocks for support, you can tuck those toes and see if you can come up into low lunge. Press that heel away for you. Feel that foot very activated. Good. We're going to lower that knee back down. Come into sinking into the hips, coming into halfway split. And come forward. Keep the blocks where they are. And bring this leg back behind you. Do a few squeezy circles here. Going one way and then the other way. And we're going to bring the left foot forward, coming into that low lunge. Again, using the blocks for support. Looking behind, making sure that foot's not turned inwards, but lengthening it behind you. A nice tall spine. So this is a beautiful pose. We don't have to come up into that full low lunge, but sometimes it's good to challenge ourselves a little bit. Good. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, tucking the back toes, press into the blocks and come up into that low lunge. So I don't want us to sink down. I want to really press through the blocks and have the heart shine forwards. I'm just looking at this really adorable picture of my youngest daughter and my dad. I'll show you guys when the class is done. Coming into a memory of joy. Good. Lower that foot down and come into that halfway split. So sometimes I can even just move the blocks back slightly. That's actually a little bit better for me. And you'll notice this back foot, I've got the toes still tucked. So I'm stretching into that back foot as well, into the toes. And I know this can be really uncomfortable, but see if you can stick with it. Good. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. You're going to come this time pressing into that foot. Come forward into our forward fold. So dangle pose. Let yourself lower into that dangle pose. Chin comes towards heart. Arms are relaxed and palms resting on top of the blocks. Good. Sinking into dangle pose. We've been working with this one a bit, really working into those hamstrings, finding comfort in the discomfort. One more minute here. So let's take a moment to let the head come up in the halfway lift. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Soften through the shoulders, soften the knees slightly. Even walk those blocks out in front of you. Maybe coming into a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Root down through the feet. Feel the toes and the outer edges of the heels. 5 more seconds. Good. And inhale. I'm into that halfway lift, so my blocks are walked out in front of me. Good. And then you can take yourself into a down dog if you want. I like to take the blocks to the middle height. And then coming into a supported down dog. Good. You're gonna lower down to your knees and just take a moment here to settle in or come down onto your bottom. But from here, we're actually going to come into using the chair. So my chair is over here. I even brought a pillow with me for my head. I'm going to use my blanket for support here as well. And bringing the chair. So if you have it, I'm just using my home chair. I have yoga chairs as well, but most people don't. So I'm going to take it so the back is facing away from me. And this way I can put my feet all the way through, coming down onto my back and just scooching the chair so I can put my legs up on the chair. And I want to draw it towards me because I want the pillow and the blanket to be in the right spot. So we're coming in here to really rest the legs and the feet. Coming into a restorative pose, which is very healing for the back. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Making sure you're super comfortable. Maybe getting all the wiggles out. If you find that the chair is too low, so if you're really tall and you find that it hurts your back, then you need to put something under the legs to make sure that it's releasing the lower spine and not causing any pinching in the spine. So settle into the breath here. Really relax the knees. So you'll notice maybe you're holding tension to draw the knees together. And as you exhale, relax the knees so you feel the opening through the inner thighs. This is also a nice time for an eye pillow. A nice time for Izzy not to bark. So feeling the back of the heart resting on the earth. So it's not so much of a heart opener here today, but allowing ourselves to fully rest, letting the heart sink down towards the earth. Noticing our breath, ease in the body, and listening to the whispers of the heart. Noticing any sounds around you. Not judging them, just listening. Notice what sounds are around your home. Good. We've hit our 3 minutes here. So we're going to draw those knees in towards the belly. And draw those feet up towards the sky. So it's like we're in an upside down Dandasana in waterfall again. And then draw the feet down, coming into your right side. And we're going to make our way down to our mats again. So pushing that chair out of the way. So if you wish, you can take a bolster or a pillow underneath the knees. But first of all, we're going to come down onto our backs into constructive rest pose, and then opening the knees wide, coming into reclined butterfly. Just taking a couple minutes here in our reclined butterfly, bringing the arms into cactus arms. Again, you can use blocks if you need support. Arms are in cactus, palms facing up towards the sky. Fingers gently curled up. So as we worked into our feet, bringing in better circulation, which is so healing for the entire body. We really started at our roots. Our feet being that roots us to the earth. You know, 10 more seconds here. So we come in to moving the body and now coming in to rest the body. So I have a couple of options here for you for Shavasana. You can stay here and lengthen out the legs if you just want to really move into that total relaxation. Or grabbing that bolster and coming into your heart bed pose instead. So again, a reminder of heart bed pose. You can take a block underneath the head. Bolster comes up. You're going to cover yourself in a blanket. So this is nice, especially in flu and cold season, when if you lay flat, you feel like you're going to cough. So lengthening out. And this is also a beautiful heart opener. Letting the arms come down. And coming into your final posture of either heart bed Shavasana or your regular Shavasana, your choice today. Notice if you're holding tension in the forehead. Soften the forehead and the jaw. The belly is soft. Hips are relaxed and open. Knees are relaxed all the way down to the heels. So notice the points of your body supported by your yoga mat. Now feel the front body melting into the back body. And come back to your natural breath. And you rest here for Shavasana, and I will bring you out when it's time to come out. Coming back from that spaciousness of Shavasana. And as you rest there, I'll read to you from my book I got in Mexico. And it's Every Day with Rumi. So just taking a moment to breathe here. And if you feel like it's time to come up to seated, please come up to seated. This is called Cupping My Hands Like a Mountain Valley. Like the way the valleys of the earth cup the hands for light and drink. Like the way the desert opens up its sweet mouth and laughs when someone melts pearls in the sky, and the rain returns like a divine lover with 100 wonderful gifts. Oh, the words of the true teacher now brings to my mind and soul such a sacred nourishment and life. Like the way of the valleys of the earth cup their hands for light and drink. Like the way of the desert opens up its sweet mouth and laughs when someone melts pearls in the sky, and the rain returns like a divine lover. Hey, I think there is a song here. Go for it. So this is a reading from A Year with Hafiz. Let's bring our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center. Again, nice tall spine. Crown of head reaches for the sky. We'll end our practice together with one single Om. Inhaling. Oh. Drop chin towards heart, taking in that beautiful vibration of Om. The divine light in me sees, honors, and cherishes each and every one of you, especially your hearts, with much gratitude from my heart to your heart. Namaste. So namaste to each of you, especially anyone that's coming in after the class, after to watch the recording. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.